Hello Ravencoin lovers, this is Raven Rebels with a quick update about Ravencoin and development and innovation. So many questions on Twitter. Okay, so what's happening? Well, Ravencoin is a blockchain, it's a tokenization platform. On Ravencoin you can mint your own tokens, they can be unique or non-unique, so they can be NFTs or just tokens. Okay, so that's Ravencoin. And when you think about innovation, you talk about innovation. What is innovation? Let's see how Wikipedia describes it. Innovation is the practical implementation of ideas that result in the introduction of new goods or services. That is, you create new stuff. That's innovation. A lot of innovation is also about taking stuff that already exists and combine that and use it in a new way. And that's a little bit what we have been doing the last weeks or month. We, Raven Rebels, have been looking at sign in using Ravencoin NFTs. So we have proof of concepts where you can log into websites using a Ravencoin NFT. You have to use the Raven Core wallet on Macintosh or Windows. So it's not a perfect user experience. I mean, as a user, you would like to use your smartphone, like iPhone, Android, scan a QR code to log in. That's what you want. But anyway, let's talk more about this. Okay, so you can have, you know that on Ravencoin you can issue tokens, you can issue non-fungible tokens, unique tokens, and you can use that to log in. And how can you innovate and do something with that? Well, let's talk about, for example, internet. Let's talk about Firebase. Firebase is a service from Google. It's a backend service. So lots of people who build stuff for Android, iPhone, or for the web are behind the scenes using Firebase as a backend. And in late 2020, October 2020, the blog, Firebase blog, say that they had 2.5 million monthly active apps. That is 2.5 million apps, not users, apps. And they say that they went from 2 million apps in 2019 to 2.5 million apps in 2020. Here we are at 2022. I have no idea how many monthly active apps they have. Is it 3 million, 4 million? Anyway, to log on to those apps, you can create something in Firebase and say that people will log on with their Twitter account or their Google account, whatever. But according to this post here at Stack Overflow is a community for developers. You can enable anything that is implementing something called OpenID Connect with Firebase. So if we implement a OpenID Connect provider for Ravencoin login, it should work for Firebase. And what is OpenID Connect? Well, it's an extension of, there's an old standard called OpenID, and this is the newer standard. OpenID Connect makes it possible for people to log into websites without using username and password. It's like you go to a site and they say, do you want to log in with your Google account? And maybe you prefer to log in with your Google account, not to have a username and password for each and every site. So perhaps we are able to do this with Ravencoin. And as you see here, Google Cloud Identity Platform. Here is where Google explains more about how you sign in users with OpenID Connect. And if you have that working, you can see that there's lots of WordPress plugins where you can log into WordPress using OpenID Connect clients. So once we get the sign-in with Ravencoin NFTs to work with OpenID, we can change the world. So what we are working on right now is we have let me show you here. Let's switch to open it up here. So we are building a iPhone app. This is the simulator for iPhone 13. So we are building an app where you can, it's starting here. You see here, so I have signed in with I have a wallet where I have 1 NFT. I have friend, Rebellious Red, and I have 2 Raven. And I can change the words. It looks like shit, but that's because we have not focused on the graphical user interface yet. But once we have the iPhone app running, where you can log in with NFT, connect that with Google, with the OpenID provider stuff, so we can make it work with Firebase and make it work with WordPress, we have a killer feature. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please give a like or subscribe or comment. It's great if you can like over at YouTube, because it helps us with the algorithm so that people understand that Ravencoin is important. And if you want to hear more quick updates like this, tell us in the comments. Peace.